the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You know I hold it near and dear to my heart, correct?
For sure.
Obviously, my relationship with the Hall is something I cherish. And not because for the fourth straight summer, I'm going to step up to the podium in front of all the Cantonians and all the Buckeye fans and dare them to whisper a syllable in my direction or say anything with the letters O, H, I, and O in it. But that's not why I bring this up today. That's for another day. The Hall of Fame announced its lists of finalists for the Hall of Fame class of 2025 in the coach, contributor, and senior categories. The coach that's made it, and usually when these people have come out of committee, it is I mean, they don't like it when you say it's rubber stamped by the voting group writ large, but the voting group writ large includes the people in many cases that are on these committees, and they trust that the hard work has been done, and then they'd like to leave their own hard work to the 25 players that are considered Hall of Famers potentially in the modern era. That's the one where, you know, Eli's up this time, and Anquan Boldin, Torrey Holter should get in at some point, if not this year is involved. I mean, so on and so forth. But the coach that came out of the committee for the coaching finalist is Mike Holmgren. And he is beyond deserving. Beyond deserving. One for the Packers, as we all know. It had been quite some time since the Packers had won when he won. And he had 2 rings as the coordinator for those 49ers teams that won it all in the 80s. And that's how he got his job, from the 49ers to Green Bay. And then he took Seattle to the Super Bowl, lost Super Bowl 40. By the way, can you believe that's going to come up on 20 years now? This Super Bowl 59, lost Super Bowl 40. And Holmgren has a record of 174 and 122. He ended the Packers' 29-year drought of Super Bowl victories. There are others who are very deserving. The one that leaps out at me more than any is Mike Shanahan, who will have to wait another year. I mean, you take a look at all the coaches that are in the league right now that have the Shanahan coaching tree, and he won 2, which is usually the number you need. But Holmgren, I hope they say yes, certainly since he's the finalist. 3 senior finalists. Maxie Baughan, an outside linebacker who played from 60 to 70, came out of retirement in 74, and he won an NFL championship with the Eagles. He joined the Rams, and George Allen was his coach. He's a 9-time Pro Bowler. Jim Tyrer, who was selected as a member of the AFL's All-Decade Team of the 1960s. And then this one. It's got to happen. Sterling Sharp got a nod here. Sterling can go in.
As he should.
Don't you think? I mean, the neck injury cut it all short. From 88 to 94, he was the man. And if he was the man.
Yeah. Like
3 first-team All-Pros, 5 Pro Bowls. His 18 touchdown receptions in his final season. 84 had 18 touchdown receptions. That's still 3rd best in the history of the NFL. Talk to anybody who was trying to defend in that time. I'll tell you, Sterling deserves to get in. And I understand.
I hate to be the guy to pour the cold water on this.
I don't think you do hate that, though.
But
I think you love it.
Well, I don't. I don't really care for that characterization. I think that, like, being a Hall of Famer also is having a long career. That should be part of it.
Well,
and injuries and bad luck, that plays a factor in your career. And while we can all sit here and acknowledge, yes, he was a very great player when he was playing, a 5-year career shouldn't get you into the Hall of Fame, and I don't really care what you accomplished during those 5 years. It's really tough for me to sit here and be like, he's on par with some of these all-time greats.
7 years, but I understand what you're saying. You know, Gale Sayers and Terrell Davis are in there, and I understand they won Super Bowls and things of that nature. And
MVPs.
No, I understand, but he made it out of committee, and I
I just think it kind of tarnishes the Hall of Fame a little bit
No,
when we
I
have
don't
players
think so.
with like
I think you talk
less
to
than
any
career.
I think if you talk to any of the defenders that are in that bus gallery room that played from 88 to 94, they wouldn't say it's denigrating the room.
Yeah, and that's basically
I don't know.
what I'm basing it on, just hearing a lot of these guys talk about playing him and how completely unstoppable this man was.
The players really talk up other players. They're not really fair.
Well, let me talk about this one,
Judges.
though. The contributor finalist is Ralph Hay. You might be wondering, who is Ralph Hay? Well, he sold cars and owned the Canton Bulldogs from 1918 to 1922, and he is credited with organizing a bunch of owners of professional football teams in his showroom in Canton in 1920 and forming an association that 2 years later was named the National Football League. So, yes, his contributions were obviously very important since it led to the formation of the National Football League. And he has an award already named after him, the Ralph Hay Pioneer Award, given to people who have made significant and innovative contributions to professional football. My friend, the Spanish-speaking NFL announcer, Fernando Von Rossum, who he won the award last year. It was delightful to sit next to him on the podium. He particularly enjoyed when I clapped back at the Ohio State faithful. But I just bring this up to say the following here. Because in the press release, it says, his supporters have said that among all major professional sports, only football is yet to enshrine into its Hall of Fame the person or persons credited with founding its dominant league. And I'm saying, sure, we're correcting a, centuries-long snub? But at the expense of Robert Kraft is positively absurd. While Robert Kraft walks the planet in his advanced age, and his contributions to this league and this sport in the last 25 years is unparalleled. And it's like, can we correct the Ralph Hay snub another time? The guy also already, his name gets mentioned when an award is given out for him. Well, people are walking around saying it's an embarrassment that Canton hasn't enshrined one of the founders of the sport when Robert Kraft is waiting to get in. And if we're holding against Robert Kraft any of the headlines that's been associated with him personally or the Patriots with the Gates, I will just say this: get over it. Absolutely get over it. The number of banners he has with his organization, with his family, helped hang in New England. What he has done in New England, talk to anybody. I'm married to one. I'm married into a family. They will tell you what the Patriots were before he bought them. And he, thank God, this man reached out to Jeff Saturday in the middle of a lockout in 2011 and basically helped broker something. Good Lord. NFL Network doesn't exist in many ways without him either. And Brady's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and Belichick's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and we're going to hold Deflategate and Spygate against this man? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? This is crazy.
Not sure what it is.
I don't know what it possibly is. And then one last thing here, too, because
Insanity.
I am so, again, it goes against my every fiber of my being to criticize anything that comes out of Canton, Ohio, and its processes. Okay. And this just goes to show you how much I love this weekend, and I love this event, and I love this place, and I love going to Canton, and I love seeing all the folks there just pour their heart and souls 24/7, 365, and making sure this event goes out and goes off well. Okay. But it is also a television show. All right. There are eyeballs out there, and there's a fight for relevancy in this world. And with all due respect to the Hay family, who probably won't be pleased with me right now, or whoever is pounding the table to say, as it says in this press release, his supporters. Kraft gets in. It will be a parade of Patriots showing up, from Brady to Brewski to Wilfork, who might get in, to name it. They'll all be there, all of them. And name all the celebrities that he's friends with. They will all be there.
Bon Jovi probably does the concert.
Everybody will. It will be an event in Canton, Ohio. But the Ralph Hay snub's fixed. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.